What if a single, narrow waterway could shake the entire global economy? Right now, a critical maritime route that carries a massive portion of the world's energy supply is under serious pressure. Political tensions, military strategies, and economic fears are all colliding in one place. And the big question everyone is asking is this: what happens if the Strait of Hormuz stays blocked for longer? Because if that happens, the consequences could spread far beyond the Middle East, affecting oil prices, energy supply, global trade, food production, and even electricity in several countries. But before we dive deeper into what's really happening and why the entire world is watching this situation so closely, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates on global events shaping our future. Now, let's break down the situation. In recent days, tensions around the Strait of Hormuz have intensified after new statements from Iranian leadership suggested that the waterway could remain restricted as part of a broader geopolitical strategy. For those unfamiliar with the region, the Strait of Hormuz is not just another shipping lane. It is widely considered one of the most important energy choke points in the world. Nearly 20% of the world's oil supply moves through this narrow passage between Iran and Oman. In addition to oil, a massive volume of liquefied natural gas, petrochemicals, and other industrial materials also travels through these waters. So when disruptions begin here, the ripple effects are felt across the entire global economy. Energy markets react quickly. Governments become concerned. And industries around the world start preparing for possible shortages. Energy analysts say that shipping traffic through the region has already slowed dramatically. Only a limited number of vessels are currently attempting to pass through the area, while many shipping companies are choosing to avoid the route entirely due to safety concerns. What has surprised many experts is how quickly this disruption has impacted global energy flows. Estimates suggest that nearly 10 million barrels of oil per day could be affected by these disruptions. To put that into perspective, that represents one of the largest potential supply interruptions the global oil market has seen in decades. Yet, despite this massive disruption, oil prices have not surged as dramatically as some analysts initially predicted. Why? Because global markets still have some buffers in place. One major factor helping stabilize oil prices is the existence of strategic petroleum reserves held by several countries. Organizations like the International Energy Agency have already discussed releasing emergency oil supplies if necessary to calm the markets. In total, hundreds of millions of barrels of oil are stored in strategic reserves across the world. These reserves act as a temporary safety net during major supply disruptions. However, this solution is only temporary. If disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz continue for an extended period, those reserves could start draining quickly. And once those reserves begin shrinking, markets may react far more aggressively. Interestingly, experts say the bigger issue may not be oil. It could be natural gas. Unlike oil, natural gas is much harder to store and transport over long periods, and the Strait of Hormuz plays a critical role in transporting liquefied natural gas, LNG, from major producers in the Gulf region. Countries like Qatar export enormous quantities of LNG to energy-hungry markets in Asia and Europe. If that flow slows down or stops, the consequences could appear much faster than oil shortages. Some regions are beginning to feel the pressure. Countries such as Pakistan and Bangladesh, which rely heavily on imported LNG, could face electricity shortages if supply disruptions continue. That means potential power outages, rising energy costs, and economic strain. Before we continue, if you find this breakdown helpful and want more clear explanations about global events like this, take a quick second to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to keep bringing you detailed analysis of major international developments. Now, let's look at something even more surprising, because oil and gas are not the only things affected by this crisis. Many people assume the Strait of Hormuz only matters for energy. but its importance actually goes much further. The Gulf region is also a major exporter of materials used in fertilizer production, including sulfur, ammonia, and urea. These chemicals are essential for modern agriculture. If their supply becomes limited, farmers around the world could face rising costs. Higher fertilizer prices can lead to higher food production costs, and that ultimately means higher food prices for consumers worldwide. Even countries far away from the Middle East could feel these effects in grocery stores and agricultural markets. Another surprising consequence involves the global technology industry. Sulfur and sulfuric acid are important components used in semiconductor manufacturing and metal processing. These materials help refine metals such as copper, nickel, and cobalt, key ingredients in electronics, batteries, and renewable energy technology. If supplies of these materials are disrupted, it could create additional pressure on already fragile global supply chains. That means potential delays or higher prices for electronics, vehicles, and industrial equipment. Beyond energy and raw materials, the Strait of Hormuz also plays a crucial role in international shipping routes. Petrochemicals used in plastics, industrial materials, and manufacturing components frequently pass through this narrow corridor. The Gulf region is one of the world's largest producers of petrochemical products. Any long-term disruption could create shortages across multiple industries, from packaging materials to consumer goods. This is why global markets are watching every development in the region so closely, because even a small disruption in such a critical choke point can trigger a chain reaction across the global economy. To truly understand the scale of the situation, consider this. Every single day, thousands of ships move through the world's oceans. Only a few narrow passages control a large portion of global trade. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important of those choke points. At its narrowest point, the passage is only about 33 kilometers wide. Yet, through this small corridor flows a massive share of the world's energy supply. Its combination of strategic location and high traffic makes it one of the most sensitive geopolitical areas on the planet. Analysts say several scenarios are possible. If tensions ease and shipping resumes normally, global markets could stabilize quickly. However, if disruptions continue or escalate, energy prices may rise significantly. Some experts have even warned that oil prices could potentially climb toward $150 per barrel in extreme scenarios. Such a spike would have serious consequences for inflation, transportation costs, and economic stability worldwide. For now, governments, energy companies, and international organizations are closely monitoring the situation. What is happening around the Strait of Hormuz is a powerful reminder of how interconnected our world has become. A single waterway, thousands of miles away, can influence energy prices, electricity supply, food production, and even the technology industry. And while the full outcome of this situation remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the stability of this narrow passage plays a crucial role in keeping the global economy running smoothly. As events continue to unfold, the entire world will be watching closely. If you found this breakdown informative, don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more deep insights into global events. Also, tell us in the comments, do you think the Strait of Hormuz situation will stabilize soon, or could it lead to a larger global crisis? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.